Nagbabalik ang pambansang almusal. Mental illnesses such as bipolar disorder are matters that we should take seriously. Kapag na-detect agad na may bipolar disorder ang isang tao, makakatulong ito para makontrol ang negative effect nito.
Tutulungan tayo ng ating bisita na mas maintindihan pa ang bipolar disorder. We have Miss Karen Paula Manalo of Mood Warriors and Phoenixes. Phoenixes, tama po. Ayan.
Yes po,
Good morning
tama
po, ma'am.
Masayang umaga po sa inyo.
Masayang umaga po.
Apo.
Ano po ba ang sanhi ng bipolar disorder?
Before I answer the question po, I would just like to give a little disclaimer po. Basically, I'm still a student of MSc Psychology and
Okay.
Biology. But at least being a part of the Mood Warriors and Phoenixes, I could give you a background po. So, in terms of the causes o yung mga sanhi, tinitingnan po lagi natin yung biopsychosocial model of health. So, we look at the biological factors. For instance, hindi po alam ng maraming tao na for people with bipolar disorders, meron pong mga abnormalities na nangyayari sa connections po ng nerve cells natin sa brain. And because of that po, nagkakaroon ng different manifestations and abnormal manifestations. Like for instance po, there are people na talagang nagsasalita sila ng mabilis na normally hindi naman po. And a lot of people would say na parang dahil lang sa stressed out. Well, that's also a factor. That's another cause po, yung stress. We talk about the psychosocial, yung personality also could be affected po. And also kung gaano ka resilient ang isang tao, dahil iba-iba naman po tayo ng resilience. And also we talk about most of the people who get affected po kasi they have tragic life events, traumatic life events. So we look at the biopsychosocial model of health po.
Ito po bang follow-up lang ito?
Yes po.
Ito ba sa pagkabata pa? Pag pinanganak ka, may problema na?
Yung sa pagkabata po kasi, ayon po sa mga specialists po natin, bipolar disorder can actually be also caused po by genetics.
Okay.
So, in terms of
So hindi natin
biological po.
hindi natin pasigurado kung talagang saan nagsisimula yan.
Pero pwede
Opo.
rin po na, kumbaga, in environment ng tao?
Yes, definitely po. So again po, we look at the biopsychosocial factor.
Okay.
It's likely po na according to our specialists na it develops at a very young age during childhood po. But normally, it's diagnosed po during the adulthood na po.
Okay, paano po ma-determine na may bipolar disorder ang isang tao?
For the,
Opo.
yes po. For the determination po of bipolar, again, we look at the biopsychosocial factors. Pero just to give an overview, meron po kasing different types of bipolar disorders. There's type 1, bipolar type 1. Ito po yung merong extreme elation and extreme depression. In such cases po, normally, we call it the manic po, yung elation phase, na yun nga po katulad ng sabi ko kanina, may mga tao na normally hindi naman po sila mabilis magsalita. Pero nagiging mabilis na po yung pagsasalita nila if they have such episodes. And in such cases din po, normally, they could feel na very high yung emotions po nila. Na parang kung titingnan po natin, they're very happy. Pero what we don't know po, since yun nga po, may mga biochemical imbalances also na apektuhan yung brain, it could result to irritability. Grabe po yung irritability nila.
Okay.
And naapektuhan po yung sarili nila and even the people around them. And sometimes it could result to worse cases such as suicide, ganun.
Okay. Ano po naman ang age group usually na nagkakaroon nito?
In terms of age group, katulad po nung natanong niyo rin po kanina, since there are genetic factors, psychosocial factors, so normally, yung mga bata po, they could develop yung bipolar disorder when they are exposed to traumatic life events and different tragic occurrences in their lives po. Pero again, they get normally the diagnosis po is in the latter or adulthood po. And just to add po, again, there are different types, pero there is the manic phase, yung sinabi ko po kanina, yung high phase. And then there's also the depressive or the depression na katulad po ng related mood disorder, which is major depression. There's also type 2 na may hypomania, and there's also, of course, depression din po.
Ay, yung mga ang mga taong may kailangan masabihan sila na meron silang may bipolar disorder sila?
Sa panahon po kasi natin ngayon, I mean, we're grateful that we already have the mental health law. And it's very important po na malaman na
nila.
ang mga taong ito ay merong disorder para po mapigilan po yung mga
Mapigilan,
extreme
oo.
cases po.
Oh, pero sila mismo dapat sabihan mo na meron silang bipolar.
Napakahalaga po na maging aware po sila.
Correct.
Oo.
Okay.
So, how do you counsel po yung mayroong disorder na ito?
Pagdating po kasi sa counseling, ayon po sa ating mga mental health professionals,
Okay.
hindi po ganun ka-effective ang counseling for bipolar disorder. Unlike po sa unipolar, like depression po, na counseling can be really effective in terms of treatment. As I've mentioned po, malaking factor po talaga yung biology or
Okay.
biological makeup. Kaya po, for bipolar disorders, it's highly encouraged and most of the time, patients are actually given medications po. They're provided medicines. And also, since bipolar also has depression, so counseling would also help. But dapat po talaga with the prescription of medical doctors, psychiatrists po.
Kasi ang mental illness yun, dapat may gamot talaga doon.
Yes
Correct,
po,
oo.
exactly. There's
Oo.
biological factor
Ay, yung
po kasi talaga.
yung bipolar, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, yan yung yun ang example natin ng bipolar. One instant nandito ka, masyadong madaldal, etc.
Yes po.
Next
Masyadong
instant naman,
hyper.
wala naman sinasabi, tumatahimik na lang.
Oo.
At saka parang galit sa wala ka naman ng ginagawa, basta nagpapalit-palit na lang. Ano po ang role ng organization ninyo para sa mga may bipolar disorder?
Yes po. So, we are known as the Mood Warriors and Phoenixes. And it's founded by Teacher May in 2011, also in May. And I have the authority to say this. And she actually was diagnosed po kasi with bipolar 2.
Okay.
And she founded the group. She was actually moderately manic po. So, she had feelings of very extreme emotions, ganun po. And actually, contrary to what people know na yung may mga bipolar po is mabilis pong magbago. It's more than that po kasi it takes months, it takes days to weeks and months. And for our responsibility and our role as Mood Warriors and Phoenixes, we are a support group. So, we basically support each other, the members of our group po. And then, because normally po, yung members ng group namin have anxiety and mood disorders like bipolar disorder nga po.
So, yung mga ano niyo nagka-counsel kayo, sinasabi niyo ito ang doktor para diyan sa ganyan, pwede rin yun.
Yes po. Actually, that's what we do. We don't formally counsel, katulad ng
Yes.
sabi ko po kanina. We have high regard for our psychologists, registered counselor, psychologists, and psychiatrists. We can only share what we have experienced since most of us po talaga have our own diagnosis, and we also seek the help of our professionals. So we share our experiences. We let other people know that they're not alone kasi mahirap po talaga and very challenging po yung may mga bipolar disorders. But we endorse them to professionals po.
Sa mga statistics ninyo, ilan ang mga may bipolar disorder dito sa Pilipinas?
Sa Philippines, I don't have the exact figures po, but about 3% internationally.
Ilan?
About 3% po internationally.
Okay.
Actually po.
So out of mga 100 million, may mga 3 million ang affected.
Yes po, but looking at it, it's very challenging po talaga because it's also a matter of life.
Oo. At saka yung lifestyle nila, kung hindi sila kumakain ng regular,
Oo.
nakaka-apekto
Stress
yun.
pa.
Yes po.
Kung wala kang pambayad ng gamot, nakaka-apekto yun.
Totoo po
Pag tinutuligsa ka ng mga
Yun po ang
mga
pinakamalaking
kasamahan
factor po talaga.
Yun, yung may parang binabrand ka na, ay, loko-loko at loka-loka yung mga
Yun
yan.
po ang pinakamalaking factor
Yun
na
ang-
nakaka-trigger po lalo ng disorder
Okay.
po.
Okay. Ma'am, any message or promotions po to
Yes.
our
Paano kayo makukontak?
Yes
Anong
po.
mga pages ninyo?
Yes po. So, basically, we would like, hope we hope that you follow and like us on Facebook. It's Mood Warriors and Phoenixes. And if you or anyone you know is in need of support, especially related to mental disorders, anxiety, and mood disorders, please feel free to follow us, like your page, and communicate with us so we can also direct you po to our mental health professionals.
Alright, maraming salamat po sa
Maraming
inyo.
salamat din po.
At more power sa inyong
Salamat
organization.
po, salamat po.
Magbabalik ang Pambansang Almusal.